office. We have the office of the Holy Spirit, the office of Jesus Christ, and these forms Trinity, and all of them are one.
If God is the way to authority, what about the king of United Arab Emirates? Is he serving the Jesus Christ? What about the president of China? Is he serving just Jesus Christ? United Arab Emirates. What about Saudi Arabia? Do we have authorities there? Are they serving Jesus Christ?
Saudi Arabia?
Yes.
Okay, they are not serving, yes.
Because you are telling us the only way to authority is God. Sindio? And the only way to God is through Jesus. Meaning ukikata Jesus Christ, umekata mu. Si hivyo ndio mnasema?
Yeah, very true.
So meaning, if kukata hii Jesus Christ nazafanya mtu sasa lose seat kama wewe John Trun, then I think even in China we should not be having a leader. In India we should not have a leader, and even in United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, because it's like you must have served Jesus. Ndio maana unafanya nini? It's the criterion.
Okay, but let me tell you,
hizo ni vitu za dunia.
Unaona
vitu za dunia. Mwenye dunia ni nani?
Let me tell you nani.
Mwenye dunia ni nani?
God.
Sasa hizi vitu tunasemanga hizi ni za dunia, hizi ni za nini? You are trying to tell us that
kuna the creator,
God not create everything. Meaning even Satan mpaka
ni shetani.
Mpaka nisikia tu nyimbo zangu vizuri za Les Wanyika. Ninaambiwa that is secular music, wimbo ya Shetani. As if Shetani ashawahi enda kwa studio kutoa ngoma.
Do you know competition is much more sweeter? In fact, if there is competition and you gain victory. And that is why there's a contention in hell and in heaven. That is what is making this thing now become very good and very okay. And I think this is something that is best. If I'm competing with you and I get victory, it is more valuable compared to when it is automatic. So saying that watu like wanajaribu kunini like you have to be serve God, you serve Jesus and you party power. There is also an omission there. Omission in this state that, omission in this state that there are principles in the Bible. And these principles, if you want to make wealth, you don't have to become a Christian so that you can become wealthy. Na kuna mahali Jesus alikuwa anasema, even the children of the world wanashinda. No, you don't have to become you don't have to become a Christian so that you can become a doctor, a teacher so that you can a computer science so that you don't have to believe in Jesus and God so that you can become a computer scientist. It is a version that you've been guaranteed. Now, unaona success is something that is been engineered in your bloodstream. It is automatic for you to be successful. But you see, Christians, on the other hand, they are hoping for success in Jesus. Somebody is spending time praying a lot about success. Somebody is spending much time pressure and all that kind of thing. But it is something that has been automated. You need to apply principles and automatically you'll be there. We say, unasoma business studies. Maybe you are learning about something. Mtoto wa muhindi sahi, 8 years old. Ashaanza kuweko kwa duka babake na manage 1, 2, 3. When you are doing degree, this child by the time anafika hiyo stage yako amejua kumanage vizuri sana, si ndio? Akifunguliwa he'll be even much more better because his brain has been trained in this kind of thing. Unamaliza huko, unamaliza an expired thing. Yani unamaliza kama umememorize vitu mingi zenye hazikusaidia.
Useless knowledge. Very
useless. And that is whereby Christianity needs to be solved. Na hizi systems zenye tuliletewa from the dark world. Set tuliletewa from Christianity. These are things from the dark world to manipulate you guys. So hii education system is very wrong. It needs to be distorted. Sasa ukileta mtoto wa maskini na mtoto wa tajiri uweke kwa shule moja. Ikifika wakati ya lunch, mtoto wa maskini atakimbia na plate. A struggle kuwa number 1. Mtoto wa tajiri ataenda akimiss, he doesn't even care because he has a mentality of abundance. Unaona? Kuna mentality of lack and abundance. So this is a fight of your mentality, your intuition and all the kind of these things. Now Jesus anaingia when there is a demonic attack. When you are possessed deep state. Now hata sasa hii I'm very sure watu wakikufastia for 3 months prayer and fasting, hiyo spirit itatoka kwako. You don't know how you will come to Jesus Christ, but it will mean. Kuna mtu ananiambia ati sijui ukitaka kuacha pombe lazima ukunywe, sijui lazima perform ritual. These are things zenye shetani anajaribu, anachukua na nyota yako ana exchange. You can be a good person, but unaenda una consult anaitwaje wale watu sijui wanaongea na spirits of the past. That person anaona kitu nzuri kwako. Na ana exchange, anachukua then the next time unaenda, there's nothing that is always for free. Ukienda kwa shetani you have to pay. There's nothing that is always free. And Christians hawajaangalia kitu. Ukiangalia vizuri nini the other side, those people wanatoa sacrifices. Christians don't sacrifice. Mtu ameenda ametoa sacrifice kwa altar 20 cows for this thing to happen. Na do you know spirits wana respect sana sacrifices. So the moment umetoa 20 cows na huyu ako tu riba shatata, hakuna kitu anatoa, there will be a contention. Na automatically itaonekana wewe una shida kumshi. But reason ni kwamba hajaelewa hiyo. And so this kind of thing inakuja like the world inajua much more of the Bible even than Christians themselves. Sai hata tukiwa hapa we can say that this guy at least anajua good meaning of the Bible compared to majority of us. And that is where we are going wrong. The Bible is for us. Lakini sisi wenyewe tujaisoma vizuri, hatujaanalyze and tujaiweka into that perception. So, wacha nimalize kwa kusema hivi. The principle of Jesus Christ is the way, the truth and the life. This is very true. And no one can go to the Father except through me. Jesus Christ died for our sins. These are things that are there. Ukienda kuangalia sasa tuseme sasa ni vile tu hatuna pesa. We can say now we want to go and tour all those kind of things in Israel. These are things that are there. These are places that were there. You need a lot to change into salt. These are things that are there. So these are things that happened, and for us to get to this point, there's some person who paid a price to take that action to translate the Bible until our state. And even the Americans, when you unasema walituletea kitu, they are still serving the living God.
Not Americans. It is not Americans.
Hata kama ni US wapi,
they are
still
Americans.
serving the living God.
It is a white supremacy.
Can I tell you,
And
the root of dark world iko sana nini? US.
White supremacy ilianzanga na the Greek. The Greek Empire.
Yeah.
So when the Greek Empire fell, Roman Empire ikakuja. The Greek Empire mostly they were not using intelligence in operation. Walikuwa wanatumia kifua kabisa. You can remember during Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great conquered almost 3/3 of the world. Alikuanga mtu anajua vita kabisa. So when this guy died, kuna venye Greek Empire ilianza kufanya nini? Kulose hiyo nini? Hiyo greatness. So the Roman Empire came into power. So Roman Empire wanted to conquer the world now, not physically, but now occupying people's brains. Constantine and Pope Judas wakakaa chini wakasema, what are we going to do? So these guys, there are some stories, some history, law, so many things were stolen from Africa by the Greek Empire, ikapelekwa huko juu. So when Roman Empire was taking over, the old whatever was stolen by the Greek Empire. And even those who were sent to steal this thing, one of them, I can tell you, is Pythagoras. When Pythagoras came to Kemet, aliona pyramid. He learned in Kemet, when I talk of Kemet, that is Egypt, today's Egypt. He learned there for 22 years. And he came and constructed a theory, Pythagoras theorem. Wakaoni hiyo ni yake. Na ni kitu ilipata kama isha exist. Even hii mambo na kutengeneza ndege, kutengeneza vitu mingi, they stole from Africa wakapeleka Greek. When they were even writing books, wanaandika ni kama wao ndio wamefanya nini? Wamediscover hizi vitu. Hippos, Socrates and Aristotle. Watu wali travel even in the Mali Empire. They learned a lot of things. The first university in the world ever during those days, which was constructed by Mansa Musa, inaitwa Timbuktu. There was never something like university. It's the first one in Africa, Timbuktu. Imekalia sana. Another one was in Kemet there. In fact, the word Kemet walikuwa nasoma sana mambo na chemicals. That's why hapo ndio mambo na chemistry litokea. Sasa unajua K is African but C is more Caucasian. Now, they even stole stories ninakwambia. So in Roman Empire, these people they plagiarized these stories. Plagiarize meaning unachukua story venye iko unaibadilisha venye unataka because unataka ku achieve something from it. Even this story mambo na the Messiah, I don't want to talk about Jesus because there was nothing like Jesus according to me. The story of Jesus unajua venye ilitokanga. During those days even English was not born. You know, language can be born and language can die. Even you are taught, si ndio? Lugha hufa na lugha uzaliwa. During those days even there was no English. The language yenye ilikuwa inatambaa sana ni Latin na Greek. French ikakuja baadaye kidogo, alafu English ikakuja baadaye sana kabisa. Nitawaambia ilikuja aje. Now these guys walichukua zile stories zenye zilichukuliwa na watu wa Greek waka plagiarize. Sasa hii story ya kama Isaiah it is true, lakini imeongezwa chumvi nyingi. Story ya Abraham it is true. Story ya Solomon very very true. Story ya Daniel is true. Story ya Jesus sasa wanakuja kuchukua the Osiris na lanko yake ilikuwa anaitwa Set. Hapo wakatengeneza story ya Jesus. So these guys wakateka hizi vitu and they wanted to nini kusambaza hii mambo yote kwa dunia. So when revolutionists when they were now coming up venye sasa tunafanya pale cartel na kusema we cannot do this and this and that, wote walikuwa wanauawa na wakatengeneza church and they actually walikuwa wanalazimisha watu wafanye nini, wafanye venye wanataka. Michelangelo hata kitabu yake aliandika venye mambo ilikuwa ikakaa for a long time. Leonardo da Vinci sasa wao wakachora venye Yesu yafai kuwe na walikuja wakatoboa hii siri. People are not happy mpaka hiyo Catholic Church, but they mtaangalia the word Catholic universal, they wanted that thing ikuwe universal. The word church mtaanda kuona inamaanisha, in fact it means something very unholy. So watu wakafanya kitu kasambaza. In fact Constantine was out to kill anybody that was going to against the what this thing
against the Catholic,
against the hii mambo na uongo yao, until when they wanted to come with another form of religion yenye iko na ukweli, at least kama wanaunganisha dunia mzima na religion moja na ikuwe na ukweli, hapo walileta shida. You can remember huyu mtu anaitwa Luther King, wachana ile ya US. Luther King sasa mwenye sasa ule wa US amekuwa named after huyu mwingine alikuwa German, alikuwa anataka kuja na another Protestant church. Hapo shida ilitokea. Sasa unajua in Roman Empire ilikakaa baadaye ilikujanga sasa French Empire ilikuja ikateka over. Then later kabisa sasa the Great Britain ikakuja ikateka over. Unaona hizo vitu zimefuatana. Kwanza ilikuwa Babylonia, ikakuja Greek. Babylonia nao kufanya maajabu sana. Ikatoka Greek ikaenda Rome, from Roman ikakuja French, from French ikakuja Great Britain. Hapa Great Britain tena walichukua ile Biblia. Sasa wao walichange vitu mingi mpaka ikakuwa, in fact most names walibadilisha kikakuwa nini in their English name. Even Solomon, that name was not even Solomon. Sasa by the time inaenda na Bible na hizo story wanazidi kuziplagiarize hivyo tu. If ukitaka kujua ni ukweli, chukua Bible yenye imeandikwa 10 years ago na Bible imeandikwa maybe hivi majuzi. Chukua tu one story ufuatilie. Wacha nikupe example, story ya Noah. Aje story ya Noah kusema Biblia za kitambo. Kuna jamaa mwenye Noah alikuwa anasaidia Noah kutengeneza ark. Alafu after kumaliza ark Noah akamwambia fanya nini? Ingia. Yeye alikataa. Sasa wakati mvua imeanza kunyesha, ndiye anakuja anambia Noah aje, kisha umana. Please open for me. Noah akamjibu aje, I cannot open because ni Mungu amefanya nini? Ameshafunga. Ukisoma Biblia saa hii, hiyo pata iko.
Don't believe the current Bibles. If you want a good Bible, go to King James version.
Sasa King James, huyu King James ni sasa inakuja vizuri. Si King James alikuwa wa England. King James unajua aliua watu wangapi? Juu yeye ndiye alianza mambo na hii Biblia zikuwe printed mingi. Na yeye ndiye hata alingoza mambo na kuchange vitu vingine hapo. King James was also a very wicked man. And what? Wanaita homosexualist, great one. Na alikuwa mtu mbaya kabisa. Na in fact wao ndio walitanga mambo na hata church itoke kwa Catholic waweka ingine because alikuwa anataka kuoa bibi nyingine, na hiyo ingine ile yenye watu walitengeneza lakini Constantine haikuwa na allow polygamy, na yeye alikuwa anataka kuoa bibi nyingine, bibi wa kwanza angeanza kuzaa, mpaka vita ikatokea, akasema sasa we are going to own this thing. In fact hapo ndio ilifanyanga hata Roman Empire ilibingi chini kabisa because of Great Britain. Now there was now a queen called Queen Elizabeth the Third. Queen Elizabeth the Third alikuwa anasaidia mtu anaitwa John Hawkins kuuza slaves. Ndio akadonate the first ship ilikuwa na Jesus Christ. That is the first place where the word Jesus was now coming. And you know jina iko na nguvu. Wala jina iko na nguvu. Jina iko na nguvu. Hata ukiangalia hata Biblia yenyewe, story ya Abraham, there are some instances where you want to change your name. Jina iko na nguvu kubwa. That's why even in the past, mtoto angelialia na kiitwa jina ya mtu ananyama. It shows that names have got powers. So if you are calling the name of Jesus, and even if that Jesus exists, and you are calling that Jesus with a name that doesn't belong to him, what are you trying to do now? Because that name just came into the other term here. If Jesus was a Jew, he must have a Jewish name. A Hebrew name, because he was a Hebrew, si ndio? Nikisema Jews, sasa even hata hiyo ni kizungu. Kwa lugha nzuri inakuwa Hebrew. Kama Yesu alikuwa a Hebrew, lazima kuwe na jina kama huko hiyo. Of which ukiangalia vizuri ilikuwa something of wengine wanataka Yeshua. So how can you call him with the name that doesn't belong to? Sasa hata ukitembea hapa hivi alafu mtu anakuita Dipsy, utaangalia nyuma. Hata utashughulika, si ndio? Lakini akikuita ile jina, in fact kuna ka spirit na yani kuna ana invoke some spirit in you. So why should we pray in the name of Jesus? And okay, did you decide to be a Kisi? Ulituma letu kwa Kisi. And what made you to be a Christian? Because you are taught to be a Christian. Si ndio? But were you taught to be a Kisi? It is naturally in you. Si ndio? But Christianity you are taught into it. So what is natural, what unasema it is given by God? By God. You can change from being a Christian to be a Muslim smoothly. But you cannot change from being a Luo. You can never. That is a natural instinct that is given by God. In fact, Mungu anakuweka hapo. The other things ni choice. Sasa Mungu akishakupea lugha yako, alafu ule mwingine anatoka kwake, anakuja na kufunza kwamba hiyo lugha yako ni mbaya, utumie yake. Hata venye unabudu, usiabudu hivyo. Budu kama yeye. Na sisi kama wanasiasa, of course, kama umeenda mahali kufanya rambe na mtu unaona wale wanafunzi wanakujanga kudance, unaona Raila anaamka hapa na kama Yestavon. Kama kuna presentation, unaona wengine wamekuja na choir, wengine wamekuja na traditional dance, wengine wamekuja na poem. Sinakaa kitu kingine, inakaa how do you call it? Dynamic, kama niseme aje? Diverse, inakaa diverse na mnafurahia kabisa, si ndio? Mwingine anacheza bongo, mwingine anacheza R&B, hivyo inakaa diverse. Lakini sasa kama wewe ni guest of honor, group ya kwanza ni poem, ya pili poem, ya tatu poem, sinakaa very monotonous. So God wanted to be served in different ways, in a diverse ways. So one civilization trying to tell another civilization that your ways of life is not good, borrow ours. It is brutality. It is social degradation. Unaona zako ndio mbele na zingine za wengine ni mbaya. Hiyo si mzuri. That's why watu wazungu wabudu venye wanataka, venye walikuwa, because it is cultural bound. Mtu anakuja na kwambia culture yako ni mbaya. Who is the creator of culture surely?
Lakini Dipsy, nataka unijibu tu in short form.
Yes.
There was Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Ngoja, Garden of Eden, si ndio? Adam was created by God. Na Adam akaeka kwa nini? Akaambiwa to manage that garden. Akaambiwa number 2, he will name the animals. So, Adam akaanza kukaa hivyo. Akasema, I will need a helper. So God akakuja akamweka into sleep, akachukua his bone, akatengeneza Eve. So after kutengeneza Eve, Adam was okay now. He was Eve. Wakaanza kukaa hapo nini. What happened is that there was an instruction that you can eat from each and every fruit, so each and every tree, apart from the tree in the middle. So that was the tree of the serpent. So Adam never ate, but when Eve entered, Eve went to that tree. Look at the conversation between Eve and the devil. I want you to study that conversation. How did the devil come to Eve at first? He told Eve that God is lying to you. If you eat this fruit, you will be more wise than God. Yeah. So, hapo hivyo, it is happening today. So for Satan, akuje...
So we are wiser than God right now?
No. That is the devil trying to make a false narrative. Yeah, he's trying to make a false narrative. Then, you come into your conscious state. The devil is attacking your conscious state. Yeah. When you come into your conscious state, after that, he will tell you something that when you see, it is true that makes sense. When Eve saw that kind of thing, it was true that it made sense. It made sense. But what happened after eating that kind of fruit? It didn't make her even wiser. So, ngoja namaliza. He ate the fruit. After eating the fruit, we expected that he would become more wiser than God. So, after eating the fruit, he gave Adam. Immediately after they ate, that was the disappointment that they did. Now, if you look at this kind of the current world kitu inaendelea sahi, these are the last days, and the last days imekuwa symbolized kwa revelation. These are things that are happening. Wars zimeanza na wars inakuja kuwa great. Look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump is going to build wars. Hizi zile systems zenye zimekuwa zikifanyika zinaenda kuanguka. Wait and see. Tukianza na Ruto, kuna hizi vitu zenye State House, kuna altar zenye ziko pale. Parliament, it is an altar itself. The Senate, it is an altar. God will reshuffle everything. Do you know in Africa, the motherland of Africa and Kenya? And you will see the fight in Kenya. So, another thing. Nilikuwa nataka to study your knowledge between Eve and the devil. This is something that is happening today. For the devil to come up and convince your mind, he has to come up with a good logistical knowledge. Then, he brings that knowledge to you in a manner that you can look at it and say, yes. Did God not kill people in the Bible? Now you're being told.
Where did Satan even kill somebody?
Yeah. You see?
Kuna mali Satani
that is a question that inakuja. When that question comes, it pricks you that God is bad. But the devil is okay. Mbona hakuwa watu sijui nini. So that kind of knowledge is whereby they want to overtake your conscious state. After that, you will realize all these things one time you are saying, they were totally false and they were totally scripted. The one way to God is Jesus Christ. And this is something that you will tell me when the days to come. So I'll really appreciate you.
same to that rack. They have their things. They have their what? Their roles, isn't it, to play. So when God was creating, even if you look at biology, structure of human being, each and every part is gonna function. And if there's a part that does not have a function, maybe human being has just discovered that function. Now, look at if you go into our brains, we have 14 billion cells. These 14 billion cells is a large capacity. In fact, in inasemekana, it's not easy for even a man to make a computer that can have a carrying capacity more than that the human brain. So how can God give you that kind of large capacity and deny you to have knowledge inside it? It's not making sense. Then when did this God create Satan? When? Because day 1 tunajua Kenya aliumba, day 2 tunajua mpaka day 6, ndio? So when did he create this Satan? When? Mimi sijui. Alafu if you are planning, because God is a planner. Venye mimi najua God is powerful and God is a planner. You know how to plan very well. Ndio maana wewe venye amekumba hapo hivyo, amekupea everything that you can need to make anything that will make his creation, unaona, ziendelee. He is a planner, anajua kuplan. He is also a foreseer. Unaona? God can see our future because he's that future knowledge, anatengeneza hiyo future. Unataka kuniambia Mungu wako anajua ati shetani atakuja hapa kunini kusumbua watoto wake mwenye ameweka hapa? Na huyu shetani si hata ni wake. Na watoto pia ni wake. And that Garden of Eden, according to the Bible, it was protected. If it was protected, alikuwa na protect from who? Must be Satan, because that was the most dangerous thing there by then, sindio? Mbona basi alialawa akaingia ndani? This Adam was naming all the animals. Which language did he use in naming these animals? After wameshazaa watu, haya, wamezaa Cain and Abel. Cain is going to kill Abel. Where was God when Cain was killing Abel? It means that the Bible is trying to tell us that God is powerless and careless. That is what the Bible is trying to tell us.
Okay, you're forgetting something. You see that God is all powerful, ever present. These are attributes: omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. You agree with that? True?
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
Thank you. Now this is my point. God allows some kind of things for the upcoming people to come and learn. Do you know the Bible has scripted everything? There's nothing new under the sun. This Bible has got everything that is currently happening. Hakuna kitu moja hata yenye utafanya saa hii yenye haijakuwa recorded in the Bible. It is repetition. Now this is my take. When God allows, for example, when God allowed firstborns to be killed in the Bible. The firstborns were being killed, Jesus was transferred to another place. Do you want to tell me these firstborns were killed? God never knew about it. He knew, right? But why did he allow it?
And do you think there was no any other way of solving that situation? It was just to kill them.
They have to do that. If you look at it very keenly, kuna kwanga na miserable things that happen. Roughly na vitu vina happeningi vibaya. Then if he can create
things by word of mouth, why could he solve that problem using word of mouth?
Okay, God has given you a will. Do you have a will? And God respects your will. A will is something that you can decide upon. God has no rule in it. God doesn't interfere. He gave you a free will. A free will means even if I'm here, I can decide to serve Satan or serve God. That is a free will. You imagine if God never gave you a free will, you could have acted in the direction of God automatically. But now you're having a free will. You can go and slap anybody, nothing happens to you. You can go and steal, nothing happens to you. Maybe if your time comes, you can go and do this to somebody, nothing happens to you. So people are misusing this free will. you've been given a free will, but this free will you are misusing it to create other things that are not necessary. So we are saying in totality that some things happen for people to come and learn. When the firstborns of Nini were being killed, it was happening when Jesus was coming to the earth, then firstborns were kufa. It was happening for this Nini to learn, for the upcoming generation to learn. When Jesus killed, when God, not Jesus, when God killed hao wenye walikuwa wanavuka the Red Sea, it was happening for us to learn. Nani walitupwa kwa moto? The Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. For what purpose? For us. One day utakuja kupitia shida kwa hii dunia. Things will become rough. But if you remember how those people were, na wakaingia kwa moto and they were saved, this kind of thing must awaken you. And you can say that indeed these are many. And these are things that are there. Ukienda kuvisit those, ni ile tu bado tuna pesa zaidi msi. These things are there. It is not a knowledge.
They were constructed.
Haya, kuja sasa
They were
uangalie.
constructed because vitu kama ile footsteps za Yesu huwa mnadanganywa nayo Israel. Kwani Yesu alitepeaga tu hapo peke yake.
Okay, look at Israel. I want you to say. The Bible says,
Hiyo salt yenye inawekwa hapo, hiyo
Ngoja.
salt ilijengwa.
ngoja, the
Sasa,
Bible
it is very clear that salt ni kitu yenye na nini. Wewe unadhani mvua ngapi zimenyesha kutoka hiyo
Si
time?
Israel imekuwa na fights. Israel si wamekuanga na fights.
Hata sasa hiyo
But what is written in the Bible? That Israel is a country of God. And no nation will ever fight Israel and succeed. The same to Solomon. The same to Solomon. Solomon is the richest, and there is no one with that will become richest as
Mansa
Solomon.
Musa, follow story ya Mansa Musa.
Achana na Mansa Musa, my friend. Solomon pale ilikuwa kwa nini? Kwa floor, my friend.
Nini?
Pale. Hadi sijui king wa wapi.
Na unajua Mansa Musa ilikuwa aje?
Mansa Musa ni vitu za story za kutengenezwa sasa.
Okay. Sasa
Story ni za kutengenezwa.
mbona hii?
Why is it
Na,
that?
wait a minute.
Why is it that Freemasonry wana study
Hizo vitu
Solomon?
zote.
Why is it that Freemasonry wana study Solomon?
Hizo vitu
They
zote.
agree to the aspect that this person was
Ndio nasema hizi vitu tunaongea, all of them ni vitu zimefanyika in past, ndio? Be it mine or yours. See, they are all history.
and we agree that
They
these
are all
were
history.
there.
So why should we just believe in yours and mine was now constructed?
Okay, you are constructed in this manner. That information when the Bible was being
Do you know the story of Mansa Musa?
Where
Wewe?
was it?
Wewe unajua story ya Mansa Musa? You unajua
I
story ya
don't
Mansa
want,
Musa?
I don't want to
You
tell.
you don't want to know, so you don't know. So you are criticizing what you don't understand.
Okay, Mansa Musa, yes. Okay, proceed sasa tusikie. Proceed. Because me I know about Solomon. If Freemasonry go and study Solomon as a specimen, and my God that is in heaven, clearly with me, then how far can
Sasa,
God give me as a person?
Unaona sasa Freemasonry. Unaona wakitumia sahihi. Unajua unaona wakitumia sahihi.
Geometrical. See me geometrical.
Hivi.
Here nini ya Trump.
Do you know what it means?
It means what?
Unaona kata pyramid iko hivyo.
Pyramid.
Do you know why the library at Alexandria was banned? Because it had secrets on that spiritual power. So any other bad story you know about Freemasons is to scare people into it.
That it is good.
The eye, the one eye you are seeing, it means the third eye. The third eye is spiritual eye that it is invisible and it can see much more than these two eyes can see. That is when you will know that the world is complex and your eye can only see 30% of it. 70% is spiritual. Hii dunia. That's why hiyo ndio sikutajua hata kikombe it has this physical realm like that spiritual. It is also spiritual this cup. And that spirit ziko their powers are different. Ndio maana mganga pia akifanya vitu zake anaenda kuchukua some huko kambani they just use these herbs. And some vitu zingine za animal kama siji fisi wanachunguka siji nini. Everything is spiritual. And what your eyes can see is only 30%. So when these people stole these things from Africa, they went Si hata kuna kitu kingine kuona ile yenye imewekwa kwa nini Amerika. Kuna symbol waliiba hapa Afrika wakaweka kwa Amerika huko White House. If you go to France, there's something they stole here wakaweka huko. Even the heads of our ancestors ulikuwa na uwawa na kichwa ibaki, kichwa inaenda. The head of Arap Samoei inapumzika huko England. The head of Chief Mkwawa inapumzika huko nini Germany. Mbona walikuwa naiba? Even those idols walikuwa naiba. They were taking power away from us. In fact, they are using our power to reach themselves. But Freemasons, fuatilia vizuri. Hata hizo rituals unaonanga sijui unawaoa sijui nini ni siri za ajabu.
But Freemasonry kuna sacrifice. Sacrifice ni Illuminati.
So those are two different things.
Yeah, they're very two different things. So on Illuminati for you to move forward, ama to go forward, ama upate kitu ama some kind of thing. It is involving sacrifice of human life. Aya, ukikuja kwa Freemasonry unaweza enda church. You can do your things, they don't care. But what they care about is they want to form that control. You wanna sponsor agendas of the dark world. So these agendas zinakuja. Unaona Freemasonry the aja yao ni kutake control. You cannot enter Freemasonry ati leo unasema nataka nikuwe part of Freemasonry. No. They are searching for people with influence wenye wako na control. These are the people wenye wana approach na wanakuwa part of it. Sasa wakisema we want to do something in Kenya, they have somebody with a capacity user. That is Freemasonry. Au wanataka world control, wanataka control the world.
Okay.
Yeah. But they want people to have free minds, free whatever. They are saying that you can fuck your mom, there is no law about it. Hizo vitu za gone. You can do anything. So that is something called free mind. Yani hakuna laws kwa hii nini. You can do anything that you want. You are a free mind. And that is not true. So that is Freemasonry. Kuna Illuminati. The same as sahi, kuna pastors, kuna apostles, kuna bishops, kuna teachers, walikuwa watano. On this other world, kuna Freemasonry, kuna Illuminati, kuna waganga, kuna spiritualists. So there is also another team. Can you take a moment na uangalie vizuri? Do you know most of the things that these dark world have been copied from the light? The reason why we are children of the dark world is because there is some kind of knowledge that we use. You are being taught the knowledge of this dark world. So, if you are wise enough, there is another level of light. Now, ukiingia to that another level of light,
have you ever been taught the dark side of the world? Have you ever been taught, according to your terms, you have light side and you have dark side?
Yeah.
So we are from the dark side. So have you ever taken your time and learned the dark side of the world? Have you done more research about the dark side of the world?
Why should I become interested in being dark? Yet I know that I'm a child of.
Therefore, you cannot be a judge in this situation because you only know one side. One side. I personally, I was born again Christian. Yeah, I gave my life to Christ when I was in class 7. Nilikuwa Kisii. Kwa kanisa it was Winners Chapel. I knew nothing by then because I was wallowing the abject mind manipulation and brainwash. And because I feared being tormented into hell, and also wanted to enjoy the milk and honey that people will walk in the seat of the gold in heaven. Yeah, but I had nothing to, like, me, I had that free mind, but ni kuogopa. I remember even our pastor alikuwa na anoint church mpaka anoint nini mlango. Today, if you will come out of this church not born again, something bad will happen. That is threatening.
And you regret it.
Yeah. That is the external motivation I was talking about. You are not going to Si hata wewe msichana akikupenda juu amelazimishwa sikupenda kolo, we are going to cut your breast out. Unataka kunusu nyonyo, si lazima utafanya hivyo. Ndio. So mimi hata church yangu is Anglican and I was a strong member, dedicated member. I was going to church even without being told. Nilikuwa napenda kabisa. Bible study was not missing. After church saa 8 tulikuwa tunaenda kukutana kwa, it was like Nyoloro merry go round. Kama leo tumeenda wiki tumeenda kwa kina nani, next week tunaenda kwa kina nani. And nilikuwa na analyze Bible. In fact during those day nilisema mind yangu ilianza kuopen kitambo because hata tukianalyze Bible nilikuwa nataka hiyo Bible inakuwa analyze, hiyo part inakuwa analyze vizuri mpaka inakuwa understood in all perspectives. So nilikuja nikapata another salvation, the real salvation now in 2018 when I started seeing the light, when I started asking questions, what if and why. These two questions, what if and why. Why is it that the Jesus we are serving is ever white? Why is it that every time we are being shown the picture of the devil is just black? And if all these people were together and they fought, when they fought in heaven, how does it concern us? Huh? Should we use as a sacrifice to punish the devil? It doesn't make sense. And if the devil was an angel, meaning the devil looked very nice, like just like the angels look nice, venye tunaambiwa kwa hizo michoro, si ndio? Then when I started to ask my questions, who is the owner of these stories? Who wrote the Bible? Even the history we are learning in school, everything that who wrote them? Who came up with this education system that we are using and religion? Nilipata jibu ni wazungu. And now how nikaona venye wazungu walikuwa na to treat ilikuwa mbaya. The lion cannot write the story of zebras. The lion cannot write a proposal on how to make the lives of zebra be better. It can never happen. Sindio? The story of Africa will only be written by Africans alone. And I got insight to continue and say, before I come out from Christianity, let me do more research. Mimi by the way kwa high school mimi sikuwa nasomanga by the way. Nilipata interest ya kusoma after nini? After high school sasa nilianza kujiuliza hizi maswali. I took my time and I read the book of Decolonizing the Mind, Ngugi wa Thiong'o. It was a very big book, but it is interesting. Ukianza kusoma hata utamani kuacha. Una Decolonizing the Mind. Nikasoma kitabu ya Chinua Achebe, A Man of the People, nilianza nayo. Alafu kuna kingine inaitwa An Enemy of the People na sikumaliza kabisa. Penye sasa Chinua Achebe anasema the white man was very bright. He came with the things that divided us and now things has fallen apart. But hiyo part iko kwa nini? When Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. Kuna kitabu imeandikwa na Walter Rodney inaitwa How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. Hiyo pia sikumaliza but nilipatanga insight. So nikaona hizi vitu zote. Nikasoma kidogo speech ya Pixley Kaisaka Seme. Nilisoma. Nikasema no. Let us come back and listen. Nikaona vita yenye walikuwa napiga nayo Bob Marley. Vita yenye walikuwa wamepiga nayo Lucky Dube. The message that these people were trying to bring for us, Burning Spear. And the reason why these people demonized reggae. The reason why these people were demonized some of our leaders. Nikasema pana, we should now come back to the drawing board. A foreigner cannot instruct me on how to do what? To live. On how to behave. Lakini nikasema, huyu Mungu yuko kweli. Nikazidi kufanya research. In linguistic, itakusaidia vile unaweza angalia if there is something wanasemanga ili exist in a certain culture and you want to try to prove but it cannot be 100%. But there are some hypotheses. Unajua kitu tunaita hypothesis. Kuna null na kuna alternatives, ndio. You can hypothesize on a certain truth. Na nikianza kuangalia from different languages, there are things that we have fixed in our lives and we have borrowed them from the other civilizations. Alafu tena nikajiuliza, the world is very old. Imagine the world is 4.5 billion years old. Na Lovecraft ndiye alileta mambo na Christianity, si ndio? Wale missionaries. Aliingia barabara, you know that, around 18 what? Around 1830s. Sema tu hapo, si ndio? So, billion of years, if you are talking in terms of billion of years, na 1830, see, sasa 1830 na katu juzi hapa, si ndio? So, how could God wait for all those years? Ndio sasa tume mzungu just the other day here. Akuja tuambie kuhusu. Didn't we have God in our lives before those people came? We had. And in fact, we were serving the Lord the way inatakikana. And we have our heroes. And these people, they took the story of our heroes, plagiarized and changed names. Na wanaturudishia. Kama Daniel. Daniel was a prophet in Africa. In fact, the Indian prophets ati a time is coming when hapo alitumianga the ram and the what? The goat. When a ram is coming from east, the goat is coming from what? West. Na zinapigana hapo kwa chapter 8. Wanapigana. Akishapigana the goat alitoa inaitwa nini? Pembe zake zilingoka. Hizo pembe zina represent those civilizations zenye nimekuambia zile and their kings. And the goat represent the white supremacy. And the ram was representing the Asian supremacy. And inasemekana, after those horns zimetoka, there's a smaller horn ilitoka which was the most dangerous, the more powerful. That one they are now referring to Constantine, who came and changed the way in which people should worship. And the influence was towards the south. Ukiona penyuma vile ilikuwa inafanyia South in Africa. And they changed the calendars, the dates, the holidays, and rules. And it had a very beautiful following because people were thinking that this is the way to what? Of religion. Si ni hivyo? Wataenda kusoma. Daniel, kuna jina yake iko hapa. There's an Ethiopian philosopher mwenye aliandika hizo vitabu. Jina yake iko hapa. Even Solomon was our man. Yeah. David existed, is our man. But now these heroes, everything that you are seeing good there outside their callings, be it religion, be it history, be it what, watu wamechukua huku na waturudishia. Hata hiyo simu unajua tu ni vitu zimetoka hapa Afrika ndio wanaenda wanafanya venye wanafanya, wanakuletea unatumia. Africa imeweka like we cannot produce anything. Si tunangoja tunapewa na tunatumia. There's nothing we can make. Government policies zinatoka US zinaingia kwa president, zinaletwa kwa senate, kwa MPs, zinapitishwa na inafanya. Majina tunatoa nje. System education venye tuliletewa ni hivyo tu ndio tunatumia. Language ni hivyo. There's nothing inatoka French tunasema this is now ours. I'm rest my case. What is the time?
Yes, sir.
Mama,